Chuck Norris once fought Superman. The loser had to wear his underwear on the outside. It's Saturday. I'm Akorn. Welcome back to Gen X and Millennial Memes, because the 80s was clearly the last good decade. Hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into today's show, starting with this week's pop quiz. In 1980s pop culture, what toy company created the Real American Hero action figure line that later inspired one of the decade's most popular animated series? If you think you know, drop it down in the comments, and stay tuned because we'll have the answer later on in today's show. Action heroes in the 80s. Action heroes in 2025. Yeah, because, all of that is toxic masculinity. If they had a way, they would just erase all of those so they wouldn't exist anymore. Child abuse in 2025. Me after a quiet conversation with my mom in 1988. Well, it would at least be quiet on one end of the conversation after that. I'm not scared of ghosts, zombies, or vampires. I'm scared of people with no common sense. That is a fact check true. Have you ever wondered what Elmo would look like with no fur? Well, here you go. That's kind of disturbing, honestly. And the one on the bottom right, I think that probably really would look like him. My dad made this when his girlfriend won't pick a restaurant. Well, that is one of the most useful ways that I've seen a CNC repurposed for. I give it an 8 out of 10. 20 years ago, the internet was an escape from the real world. Today, the real world is an escape from the internet. That's the honest truth. My desire to abandon technology. My desire for memes. Take me back to when Pizza Hut was like this. Good times. And good pizza, too. How 80s kids dealt with stress. No, more like just boredom. Especially when we were forced to sit quietly in class with nothing interesting to do. Before YouTube, this guy brought you cat videos. Yeah, back when Bob Saget brought us some of the same videos that first started YouTube. $87 worth of groceries in 1990. That's just sad, but it is true. Sure wish we could bring that back.
My luck, it had to look like his father.
Oh, hey, the little fellow was starved.
Yeah. Oh, good.
That was me. What was that?
I'll get it.
Warwick Drugs.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Hey, what is that?
Well, it's a formula the druggist has been working on to make the baby visible. I'm gonna try it.
Wait, you can't experiment on the baby.
Huh?
Let me try it first, and if it works on me, then we can give it to the baby.
Okay.
Here. Amazing, it works! Give it to the baby!
What Legos do when we're not looking. Legos ain't nothing. Just throw some jacks down in the floor around the house. Like you guys have mentioned before, they're basically caltrops, just a little smaller. I think if you had enough of them though, you could probably still punch a hole in somebody's tire. An actual sign of the times. Yeah, that is true. With that said, if I had a stick shift vehicle still, I wouldn't want anyone else to drive it unless it was somebody I knew and knew that they knew how to drive a stick shift, because there's very few people today that does. Rescue 911 really had us thinking every trip to the mall meant getting sucked into an escalator. To be fair, there has been some people seriously injured on those things. More lost shoes than anything else though. Fun fact, Robert Stack refused to narrate an Unsolved Mysteries episode unless the scene involved fog, a trench coat, and he was behind an abandoned Long John Silver's. You might be old, but are you old enough to remember when ATMs looked like this? Yes, we are. Someone just told me Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph looks like Joe from The Facts of Life. Now I can't unsee it. If you didn't know any better, you'd swear that they were brother and sister or something. I wonder if they actually are related some way. Text your mom and ask how long it takes to microwave a 25-pound turkey. You know what the sad part is, guys? I could absolutely see people doing this. They be trying to microwave a turkey for like 6 hours or something. Nothing surprises me these days. Matter of fact, it'd be surprising if somebody hasn't tried this. I think this right here is one of the best commercials that Ernest ever done. Watch this clip and let me know if you guys think that there was a commercial that was even better.
Hey, Vern, look what I found in my daddy's closet. You know, I bet you this is from the big one. You know, WW2. Boy, I bet them were some great times. I know, because I never miss Hogan's Heroes on WDBJ7. You know, with Schultz and Hogan and Commandant Klink. Hogan's Heroes, weekdays on your hometown station. You know, Vern, this must be some kind of a cigarette lighter. I know nothing. I see nothing.
Kids today will never know the joy of playing with a phone cord. I don't care who sang. This 1989 album was amazing. I don't know. Would you guys agree with this? You knew it was serious when Grandma brought out the Pyrex dishes and the smell of stuffing started sneaking into the living room. Yeah, my grandma always made homemade stuffing. I had to throw this one in here, guys. Believe it or not, this picture came off Facebook Marketplace. And this was the image that they actually used to put this truck up for sale. I mean, the thing is literally still smoking. The fire department's in the background and the police too. And they immediately decided, I'm going to sell this truck. I might as well just take the picture now. At least they're not trying to cover it up, I guess. Some of you never peeled the styrofoam off a 16-ounce glass Coke bottle, and it shows. Today's pop quiz question was, in 1980s pop culture, what toy company created the Real American Hero action figure line, which later inspired one of the decade's most popular animated series? The answer is Hasbro, creators of G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero. Nicknames for lazy coworkers: Cordless, only works for 2 hours. E.T., always wants to go home. Kit Kat, always taking a break. Muffler, always exhausted. Seaweed, just floats around all day. Sensor light, only works if someone walks past. Wheelbarrow, only works when pushed. Those are actually some pretty good ones. Heading out hunting. Heading home from hunting. How many of you guys went hunting this year? And if you did, what were you able to bring home? I'm this old. Yep, Indian in the cupboard. It'd probably be called racist these days. Gen X. Raised on hose water, sparklers, cigarettes, beer, rusty metal, fear, and neglect. Maybe so, but it was a heck of a lot better life than today. I came across this short a few weeks ago, and I think this would be absolutely hilarious.
Thinking about all the other things you could have made that could have been productive for society, but...
That is on the list of things I never knew I always needed. This would make the best Gen X party game. Imagine it, Gen Xers gathered around a life-size operation game at a party in someone's backyard or garage, the adult version of trash can punch. Everyone's a bit tipsy trying to steady their hand as they pick up the oversized tweezers, laughing about how it was supposed to be a relaxing night. That one friend not realizing they're a little bit too slammed and they still say something like, "I got it, I can do it." You can feel the buzz of anticipation mixed with a little bit of booze-back bravado. Then the moment you accidentally touch the metal, the game shocks you, sending a jolt up your arm that makes you yelp, and everybody else is howling with a little bit of liquor-laced laughter. The shocks aren't painful, just enough to make you jump and spill your drink, though. The whole scene is chaotic. Someone inevitably says, "Remember when this game was just for kids?" And the rest of us are trying to think of other games that we can make life-size just like this for the next party. The combination of nostalgia, alcohol, and electric shocks turns into a simple game into a hilarious, slightly chaotic challenge where winning is less important than surviving the next jolt with your drink still intact. I wonder if they'd consider that for the next Gen X takeover.
Let's all take a moment to recognize the true heroes of the season: elastic waistbands. How I feel when I have to scroll down to the year I was born. Imagine you hating me, and I'm just at home using my Garfield phone to call the crisis hotline. If you're using a Garfield phone, you should be feeling better already. Finding a new movie or TV show, but it's all about 80s nostalgia. I miss walking into my grandparents' house and smelling my grandma's cooking. Yeah, certainly do. This was peak humanity. It never got any better after this guy. We should have just stopped right there. I can agree with that. That would have been the very latest point. Would have been much better to stop long before this, but that goes beyond this meme. Once upon a time in the 50s, a family could own a home, a car, and send the kids to college all on one income. Yeah, and that's the real reason that they created the so-called feminist movement, because they wanted to get the wives out of the home so they're not teaching the kids, and so they could double the taxes, among many other things. Point of view: visiting grandma. Here's a short news clip about a school who called the police to have an 8th grader arrested because they used a $2 bill to pay for lunch. Why would they have him arrested for? Because not only did the people in the lunchroom not know that a $2 bill was real, they thought it was counterfeit, but apparently no other teacher, principal, or other official in the school knew that a $2 bill was real, and neither did the cops that showed up and arrested the kid. None of them knew it was real either. Now, there's no way that there was none of these people that was only 20 or 30 years old.
8th grader charged with felony after paying for lunch with a real $2 bill. Denisha Neal, a 14-year-old 8th grade student at Krista McAuliffe Middle School in Houston, Texas, was accused of using counterfeit money after she attempted to pay for lunch with a $2 bill. "I went to the lunch line and they said my $2 bill was fake," she said in an interview. "They gave it to the police. They then sent me to the police office. A police officer said I could be in big trouble." Apparently, they were unfamiliar with this rare yet completely legitimate form of currency.
I'm just wondering how high up the chain did it finally get before somebody realized that this was a false arrest. There should have been lawyers lined up at this kid's door begging him for this case, because they should have sued everybody at the school and the police too. That's beyond ridiculous. Idea on how to get people to read the Bible. There have been many different versions of the Bible, so printing a new version is pretty common. First, gather some money to print it. Find a man whose name is legally Stephen King, not the famous one though. Have him print a Bible, and on the cover put Holy Bible, Stephen King version. I guarantee you it will sell like hotcakes. Sadly, you're probably right, until they figure out that it's the same as the others. As far as scripture versions go, probably the best one I've ever found is called the Hallelujah Scriptures. That's mostly the version I've used for quite a good number of years now. So did anyone else go through a phase as a kid where you were genuinely concerned about the Bermuda Triangle? 6-year-old me was like, bro, why are we not solving this problem? They still haven't solved it. There's just so much other bad news today that it just got pushed way down the list somewhere. Shopping at Target used to be like, we still went to school in the 70s and 80s. While that is true, this is a really bad AI-generated image from best that I can tell. Either that, or the image was super low quality and somebody put it through an AI restoration image tool, because it can definitely do things like that too. When your parents took you to Sears for pictures in the 80s. I wonder how many miles they got for that one. And I'm going to end today's show with this. This is just something I came across a few weeks ago, and I just thought it was funny. The original poop cinders. Always fresh, always anonymous. And yes, guys, this is a screenshot from their real website. I took this screenshot myself, actually. And if you had some money to just throw away, this would actually be pretty hilarious. Especially the combo pack, Mega Pack. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Please hit that like and subscribe, and share the video with your family and friends. Just as a final note, the channel is really getting beat down by YouTube. The number of people that YouTube actually shows the videos from the channel, like on their homepage or whatever, is about 20% from what it was this time last year. A lot of channels that has real people making the content are absolutely being hammered. I'll talk a little more about that on Sunday's show. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this weekend. This is Akorn, over and out.
Wait. Oh my god, did I really?
Yeah.